Welcome. This is chapter 21. We're going to be talking about carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids is extremely challenging because there's more than 40 new reactions and many mechanisms and lots of different things to consider. But here we just want to talk about section 1, Introduction to Carboxylic Acids. So we've got acetic acid here. It's the simplest of the carboxylic acids. It's of course in vinegar. Now it can be produced through biological fermentation, but most of it's made industrial. I'll show that later on. Butanoic acid is very stinky. It's responsible for the rancid odor of sour butter. Hexanoic acid is stinky as well. Okay, we've got lactic acid. That's from sour milk. Acetylsalicylic acid is otherwise known as aspirin, and that's widely used as an analgesic. Okay, reduce flame, reduce inflammation, reduce your fever. Okay. Ibuprofen is also a carboxylic acid. I just don't have the structure here. 4-aminosalicylic acid is used in the treatment of tuberculosis. Isotretinoin is used in the treatment of acne. And in all these cases, you can see the carboxylic acid functional group. The carboxylic acid functional group has a doubly bonded oxygen and a hydroxyl group attached to the same carbon. So we don't call it a ketone, we don't call it an alcohol, we call it a carboxylic acid. Sometimes we write RCOOH, sometimes we write RCO2H. It just depends on how lazy we are and how much of the detail we want to show. Colic acid is found in bile. Okay, it's produced by our gallbladder, and it's used to help digest fats. It's a derivative of cholesterol, but here's the carboxylic acid functional group. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this medication, but this is used in heart failure medication. Here's the carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acids are one of the most commonly occurring functional groups, and especially the derivatives. Okay, we'll learn later on about how amides are a carboxylic acid derivative, and esters are carboxylic acid derivatives. So we'll get into section 2 next. To name all of these derivatives, but for right now we're just introducing the basics. So acetic acid you might think comes from vinegar or something that's made from apples or some kind of sugar source with fermentation, and it's a natural kind of process, but actually methane, which is found in natural gas, is converted to methanol, and then we react that with carbon monoxide with some kind of special catalyst to form acetic acid. And that's formed in the amount of 2.5 million tons per year. Now, very few of that ends up in your ketchup packets. Most of it goes on to be synthesized for vinyl acetate, which is used for paints and adhesives and many different polymer applications. Okay, so very little of this ends up in your food, but that's where most of the vinegar comes from. That's where most of the acetic acid comes from. It comes from a petroleum source. Okay. So that's it for section 1. I know it's brief. There's nothing detailed here that we need to really focus on. The next section will deal with nomenclature and all of the derivatives, which things get very complex very quickly. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to these video lecture series if you like these. Take it easy.